What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back. Today I bring to you our top Pokemon card auctions of the week. And this week, folks, let me say that a lot of these auctions had less than stellar prices, particularly the vintage cards and the vintage product. But we'll get to that here in a minute. Thank you all for watching. Please give this video a like and please subscribe to the channel to show your support. I really appreciate it. So the topic of this week is, are y'all going to buy the dip? You know, prices have dipped back down. Especially for vintage product, and I know that this coming week I'm going to get my hands on a lot of vintage product and just different graded cards. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think of these lower prices? Are you going to capitalize on this? Or are you just going to let it ride? Let me know what you think in the comments. So let's get started here with some McDonald's promos. McDonald's promo cards have been coming back in waves from PSA. We're seeing a lot more hit the market here. Let's see what prices are going for. There were a lot that came by this week. Here we had a Bulbasaur Holo in PSA 10 that sold for $102, and another one sold for $198, so quite a price difference there, almost twice as much for the second Bulbasaur. Pretty interesting. There was a Squirtle holographic from the McDonald's collection that sold as a PSA 10 for $178 this week, and then we had a non-holo Squirtle sell for $187. That's kind of weird, don't you think, that the non-holo sold for more than the holo? Now, I haven't checked the pop report for these recently, but maybe this non-holo has a much lower population than the holo ones? I don't know. A Charmander holographic in PSA 10 sold for $202 this week. We had a Pikachu sell for $316 as a PSA 10, and that's been about where they've been selling for. Anywhere between $300 and $330 is where this McDonald's holographic Pikachu has been selling for. We had a Totodile PSA 10 that sold for $152. The Froakie holographic sold as a PSA 10 for $324. The Piplup sold for $330, and the Snivy here sold for $381 as a PSA 10. And last but not least, for our McDonald's collection, we had a Poplio PSA 10 that sold for $472. So Poplio was the big winner this week for these McDonald's promos. I'm assuming, might be wrong here, I'm assuming this might be the lowest pop holo from PSA as a PSA 10, so maybe that's why the price tag is so high for this. I don't know, let me know what y'all think about that. We have a couple lots of Shining Fates hits. These are all the shiny cards, well, not all of them, but there are 22 shiny cards from Shining Fates that sold for $70. And then here we had a lot of 24 of the shiny V cards from Shining Fates, which the seller describes them to be in PSA 10 quality. $81 for 24 cards. Folks, let's go back to this other one here. We had 22 hits, okay? 22 hits of this set sold for $70, and then 24 hits. You know, these shiny V cards, 24 of them sold for $81, okay? Do you know how many boxes of Shining Fates you have to open? You know how many packs you have to open to get all these hits? And you can buy them all for $70 and $81? I'm telling you what, Shining Fates is like a steal right now. I don't know if that's the way it's going to remain. Maybe this set will jump up in value, but for right now, I mean, my gosh, $81 for 24 hits? I mean, these are good cards. This is what you want to be pulling out of a Shining Fates pack. I mean, there's no Charizard VMAX, but that is unbelievably cheap, I feel, for this set being so new and popular. So, what do y'all think about that? Here, we have a couple of CGC cards I'd like to go over. We have this Galarian Sirfetch'd V in CGC 10 condition. They went for $102.50. There was a Kartana. This is from Hidden Fates in CGC 10 form that went for $102.50. And a Alolan Vulpix in CGC 10 sold for $156. And then the Snorlax CGC 10, this is a pre-release from Vivid Voltage, sold for $202.50. All right, a couple of miscellaneous PSA 10 modern cards to go over here. We had this Pikachu reverse holographic from Evolutions in PSA 10 that sold for $158. Another one sold for $200 this week. We had a Gyarados holographic from Team Up Set. This Team Up Set is putting out some very expensive holographics in PSA 10. This Gyarados sold for $99.99 this week. There was a Pikachu full art from Cosmic Eclipse in PSA 10 that sold for $346. We had a red and blue trainer from Cosmic Eclipse in PSA 10 that sold for $222 this week. From XY Breakpoint set, we have a card that we haven't really seen in auction. This secret rare Gyarados EX card that sold as a PSA 10 for $356. Another one sold for $358 in a flash auction from PWCC. So, like I said, not a card you see in auction very often. I believe this is the only secret rare card from XY Breakpoint set. Definitely awesome. You got some Pokemon there in the background. I think it's a Manaphy in the water there. Gyarados is looking awesome. So yeah, pretty cool card from a pretty decent set. Here from Shining Legends, we have a promo Shining Celebi here in PSA 10 that sold for $471 US this week. The Shining Lugia. This card was hitting over $1,000 pretty consistently. This week it dipped down. In PSA 10 it sold for $775. And last but not least, for Shining Legends, we had this Mewtwo GX in PSA 10 that sold for $560. We had the Charizard GX promo from Detective Pikachu set in PSA 10 that sold for $132.50 this week. And then we had the Charizard pre-release from Vivid Voltage. This is the holographic version that sold as a PSA 10 for $270. All right, some full art trainers to go over. What have they been up to? We had a full art secret rare Marnie trainer card that sold as a PSA 10 for $162.50. The Whitney card from Lost Thunder in PSA 10 sold for $217 this week. We had a Mallow that sold for $251. And then from Celestial Storm, we had Alicia PSA 10 full art card sold for $585. The Alicia, or Alicia, I'm not sure how to say it, and the Lily card, as far as full art trainer cards, are two of the heaviest hitting peeps. And lastly, for our modern cards this week, we had a Charizard GX secret rare from Burning Shadows in PSA 10 that sold for $2,751 this week. This has come down a bit. It was averaging around $3,000 plus. This week, $2,751 was the price for this auction. All right, from Black and White, we had a secret rare Pikachu holographic card that sold as a PSA 10 for $510 this week. This is like, you know, I saw this card over a year ago. It was going for less than $100, and I kept thinking to myself, this is a secret rare Pikachu. You need to pick this up. You need to pick this up. I never did, and now it's like super valuable, and I'm kicking myself for not getting it when it was below $100. From Boundaries Crossed, we had a Charizard holographic that sold in a PWCC auction for $1,257. We had an Entei Gold Star that sold in a Probe Scene auction as a PSA 10 for $1,176 this week. A Topps Chrome Tentacruel Sparkle card in PSA 10 sold this week for $480. We had the Entei promo. This is a reverse holo promo and PSA 10 that sold for $230, and I do believe this card is also down in value compared to, I believe, 2 weeks ago. We had an Ancient Mew holo. This is a promo from the movie 2000 in PSA 10 that sold for $680. All right, a couple of cards from the EX series. We have from Legend Maker set, a PSA 10 Whale Lord that sold for $365. And then from EX Ruby and Sapphire set, we had a PSA 10 Gardevoir that sold for $840. And lastly, from the EX series, we have this Charizard EX from Fire Red Leaf Green that sold as a PSA 10 for $3,872. All right, some E-Series cards to go over. I do love me some E-Series. The artwork is just can't be beat for some of these cards. We had the Reverse Holo Squirtle in PSA 10 sell for $293. I like the artwork of that a lot better than this. I'm not a big fan of the claymation artwork, but I can still respect the fact that he's a starter Pokemon here. And not a bad price tag to go along with it. We had a Xatu Holo from Skyridge, PSA 10, that sold for $537 this week. A Beedrill holographic, also from Skyridge, sold for $535. And then we had a Raichu from Skyridge sell for $710. From Expedition set, we had a reverse foil Charizard in PSA 10 that sold for $2,455. A couple of legendary collection cards here. We have a reverse foil Persian in PSA 10 that sold in the PWCC auction for $424. And then a Growlithe, also a reverse holo in PSA 10, sold for $461. All right, quite a bit of Neo cards here to cover. From Neo Genesis, we had this first edition Feraligatr holo. This is the Feraligatr number 4, so it's not the super duper expensive Feraligatr number 5. But anyway, this card went for $2,400 even in auction. And then, this is kind of interesting, we had a Typhlosion holo, PSA 7. This is a French card. And I'm thinking, PSA doesn't grade these French cards, you know. I thought they only graded the different languages in base set. But I believe this is the only graded French card in Neo Genesis set in PSA's pop report that I could see. This card went for $103.50, but I was very surprised to see a French Neo Genesis card in graded form. And like I said, when I looked this up, it was the only card graded with the French language. Here we have an Umbreon first edition holo from Neo Discovery that sold as a PSA 10 for $7,700. As I say every time I see this card, the best card in the set, bar none. From Neo Destiny, we have a few cards to go over. We have this Gengar, or Dark Gengar holo in PSA 10 that sold for $1,452. We had a Shining Steelix. This is the unlimited version that sold as a PSA 10 for $630. And then the Shining Magikarp from Neo Revelation, first edition, sold for $3,050. And then a first edition Shining Gyarados sold for $8,800 this week. I'm pretty sure that is a new record for the Shining Gyarados in auction. I have not seen one go for higher than that. Like I said, in auction, maybe there was a buy it now one that went for more, or a best offer accepted, but as for a legitimate auction, this is the highest I've seen this card go for yet. And we had a Shining Charizard, first edition PSA 10, sell for $12,100. So this Shining Charizard has come down a lot. This card used to be, I forget how much, I'll put it up on the screen here, but this has dipped down pretty significantly last I recall. All right, we had a Brock's Rhydon here. This is a first edition card from Gym Hero set in PSA 10 that sold for $405 this week. All right, Fossil booster boxes came through, and they kind of underperformed. These boxes have been going for around $15,000. This week we had one sell sealed for $13,300, and another one sold for $14,055. So the sealed Fossil boxes have come down just a little bit. And some of the cards in Fossil set here, we have a first edition Magneton holo that sold for $425. We had a first edition Haunter sell for $475. A first edition Zapdos holo sold for $820 this week. From Team Rocket set, we had a Dark Gyarados holo. This is unlimited version, sell for $355. A Dark Dragonite, also unlimited holo, sell for $1,125. And we had a Dark Alakazam sell for $810 this week. All right, some base set action. Base set took a hit this week, folks. We had a Mewtwo holographic here in PSA 10 that sold for $550. That's down quite a bit, guys. We had a Machamp holographic in PSA 10 that sold for $1,105 this week. We had a Venusaur sell for $1,400 as a PSA 10. And then a Shadowless PSA 10 Venusaur sold for $2,950. And I feel like this is a card I've covered before because I was looking at the back of it, and the back is pretty atrocious looking. It's very, very off-centered. And I feel like I saw this card before in an auction a couple months ago, and I commented on how the back was awful looking and probably wasn't deserving of a PSA 10, so I feel like this is the same card being sold. We had an Unlimited Blastoise holo from base set sales at PSA 10 for $1,855. What a decrease from months ago. This card was like $5,000-$6,000, now down to $1,855. This is very sad to see, folks. We had a first edition Yellow Cheeks Pikachu from base set sell for $1,975. We had a first edition Squirtle sell for $1,350. A first edition Charmander sold for $1,525. The Charmeleon sold for $820 as a PSA 10. And then we had a Shadowless PSA 9 Charizard sell for $5,100. Let's go back to Charmeleon here. He is like, poor Charmeleon, he's like the middle child, you know? You got Charmander here, $1,500. You got Charizard here. You know, Charizard's always a premium. Then you got poor old Charmeleon here. He always goes for the lowest. $820 for his first edition PSA 10 form. I just feel bad for him, you know? He ain't getting no love. All right, folks, our final 3 auctions of the week. This is the top 3 auctions. We had this Snorlax from Jungle Set, PSA 10 first edition holo, sell in a Probstein auction for $8,988. This card is down. It was over $10,000, now down to about $9,000, so a little dip in that price. We had a greenback Pikachu from the Japanese Top Sunset. This is probably the oldest Pikachu card you're going to see, from 1995. That's about as old as you're going to get. This card in PSA 10 sold for $4,000 even. And then we had our Charizard here. This is a first edition holo. It's the Spanish version. Sell for $29,700 as a PSA 10 this week. So folks, what do y'all think? What do y'all think in some of these dips? Especially in base set. Oh my gosh, just when you think it can't get any worse, base set dips even lower. And it's not just unlimited cards, it's the first edition cards as well. Seem to be underperforming compared to what they have been. Let me know what y'all think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a like, and you know the drill. I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you.